enjoy our coffee times out here on the porch. Usually it's Saturday morning when we get to come out here and enjoy some coffee and some time together just to chat, maybe plan our day, maybe reflect on the week that just passed. We enjoy the time that we can talk to each other just one-on-one, although we get to talk a lot of times since it's just the two of us most of the time at the house or at meals and stuff like that. But this is a good time for us. As hot as it is these days, we're drinking iced coffee on the porch, looking forward to someday, maybe in the future, it will cool off enough that we can enjoy a nice big old pot of coffee.
First thing in the mornings, I go out and feed the pigs and get them taken care of for a while. And then we just sort of sit out here, and it's a nice time for us to just sit and relax and think and have what we call downtime.
Yeah,
we like downtime. We don't get enough of that.
We need that, so it's a good thing for us.
Yeah. We think back on things that have happened, and little things that happened to us along the way throughout the day or through the week or whatever. And one story that we keep telling each other keeps coming to mind. Was when we were building the chicken pen. We were building the nesting box onto the pen, and we ran out of plywood, and so we had to get some more plywood. So we said, okay, let's just go into town, pick up a piece of plywood. For us, it's sort of a long trip to go into town. It's about 25 minutes to Lowe's. We timed it, and 26 minutes to Home Depot. They're less than a mile apart on the main drag in town. So either way, it's an hour round trip for us. Anyway, so we packed it up and went into town to see if we could find this piece of plywood. And we found a piece of plywood. It didn't need a full sheet. We just needed a small piece.
Yeah.
And we found a small piece that they sold there at Lowe's. And so we bought it. And so we had some other things to do.
Getting right to the end of the day.
Yeah.
And just starting to get dark. And so we couldn't go from there to Home Depot to get the other things that we wanted. So we picked up what we could find at Lowe's. Some paint. Mismatched paint that we used on the chicken coop, and a couple of other things for the closets, and headed on home with just those few items.
Yeah. So on the way home, we got back here, and it was about the time we got back, it was dark.
Yeah.
So we pulled in, and we got out of the truck and to take the stuff out of the back, and I looked in there and I said, Carol, where's the plywood? And she said,
like I took it out already, or did something special with it.
And she said, it's in the back of the truck. And I said, no, it's not.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, big uh-oh. So we discovered then that apparently our plywood had blown out of the truck on the way home. Well, it was dark, and so Carol says, well, do you think we can find it? And I said, no way, not in the dark. We'll just have to go look for it tomorrow.
Yep.
So
not a happy day. I mean, we just wasted all that money and all that time, a whole hour. Now we still couldn't finish the
nesting box.
Yeah.
So the next day we got up early and headed out, and we said, okay, we have to go back and buy another piece of plywood. And so we'll just look for that one on the way.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful if we could find where it fell off. Blew out is really more of it, and then we'll just hopefully it'll be in the next 4 or 5 miles from here, and we can have a short trip. We also decided while we were going that this time we would go to Home Depot and get the closet doors that we weren't able to find at Lowe's. So an extra minute on the way, but we could finally get our closet doors.
Yeah. So we headed out, drove the same direction we had driven the night before, retraced our steps, and did not see it anywhere. So we just figured it was gone. So we went ahead and went to Home Depot to get our closet doors, and at the same time we bought another piece of plywood. This time we got a full sheet of plywood for the same price that we had paid for half a sheet the night before.
That's unusual, I think, but who knew?
So it worked out. Anyway, so we got the plywood, put it in the truck. This time, it wasn't going anywhere. We put bungee cords on it, ratchet straps. I don't know what all we.
Crisscross them.
Oh yeah.
We didn't want to lose those closet doors either. That was
Yeah.
a more expensive investment.
We
so.
tied them babies down good. So we brought it back, and this time we got back here. But on the way back, we have to drive on a divided highway part of the way to get here. And so on the drive back, I had pretty much just forgotten all about that piece that we lost, and it was like, okay, we lost it, it's gone, forget it. So I wasn't thinking anything else about it. So we're driving down the highway, and Carol says,
"There it is."
and I said, "There what is? What are you talking about?" And she said,
"The piece of plywood that we lost last night. The plywood. Turn around. Let's go get it." So
I couldn't believe it.
it took a minute for it to sink in.
Yeah.
You didn't have your mind
Right.
even thinking about that.
Right. And so we did. We turned around and went back, and I said, "Okay, where did you see it?" And so she's telling me where it was, and we found it. Sure enough, it was right at the edge of the road. I couldn't believe it. It was on the edge of the grass, right at the edge of the highway. It was easy to see.
If you're looking for it.
Yeah. And so we figured, all those cars going up and down that highway, and nobody stopped and picked that plywood up. It was unusual for us. So we stopped and picked it up and brought it back, and so now we have 2 pieces of plywood.
The only damage to that piece of plywood was just one corner. It must have fallen down onto that corner, and it was a little bit bruised or smashed on the one corner, but it's very useful to us in the future, so we
just chipped that little piece of corner on it. It wasn't a big deal anyway, so it didn't matter. But anyway, so that was our plywood story.
Anyway, thanks for sharing our coffee time on the porch with us this morning. We hope that we can meet you out here and give you a little bit more little short stories about the stuff that goes on in our lives or things that we're planning or looking forward to. So until next time, thank you for joining us at Hideaway Homestead.